week last week. Now you're home. Saints coming in. There's just such this enthusiasm now in the locker room that this team can overcome anything. Is that kind of how you feel?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we felt really all season. I mean, even when we were 0-3, we just knew that wasn't our record, and it was our record, but that wasn't the team that we had in this building. So, it's been awesome to be able to see this team grow and everybody in here stepping up. It's next man up at every given point, and then for Josh to be able to come in last week and do what he did, it's truly a credit to him and how he handles things, and so it's been great. We're excited about this week being back in US Bank Stadium. It feels like a lifetime since we've been here, even though it's really been 2 weeks, So just excited to be back in front of our fans and be back in this city.
What did you learn from Josh this past week, now having to practice?
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's just such a good dude, and he takes his work seriously. For him to be able to come in 3 days and be able to spit off play calls and kind of understand what's going on. And then everyone in the huddle was helping him throughout the game, hey, this is what we got, this is what's going on. And, he was just able to deliver the ball and use his legs in situations. And so it was awesome to obviously see him again. I've thrown with him a few times down in Nashville, and it's just been incredible to be in the same building with him and in the same locker room and see how he's growing as a player.
TJ, just how hard was it to get through the game for you?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for sure. But that's just something about me is I won't go off the field unless someone's making me. So I think I'll never leave my teammates in a certain situation and without me being able to be on the field, and unless again I can't physically and someone's making me stay off. So I grinded through it and we'll be all right.
So you think you're good for this week?
That's the plan. I'm going through the week and we'll see. I'm just gonna grind through it and see. Obviously there's pain, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm gonna be out there for these guys, for this team, for this locker room, and I'm just excited to be back on the field.
You're out there until you can't be. Like, how close in game were you to that line in that game?
In my head, I wasn't. In my head, I can play through a lot. I feel like I have a higher pain threshold, but there's just you have doctors in your ear and you have other things in your ear too. And so we had a sudden change, and I was like, hey, leave me alone, I'm going. And then I went, and then then we came back and they kind of got everything fixed up and made a little more protection. So. It's all good. I'll be no worries from my side of it. I'm excited about this week and moving forward.
You were in such a similar situation last year, coming in at the trade deadline, and then with all that you had to learn about the offense.
Yeah.
What tips or what do you think best helped Josh excel the way that he did?
That's the crazy part is KO told me right when I got traded that I was playing. He was like, you're going to make sure that you're rolling, and you have to prepare like you're going to play every single snap. And so that's what I did. In Josh's hand, he wasn't 100% sure if he was going to play. So that's just a credit to him as a professional and as a person that he was ready to go and understood the playbook and understood at any given point he could be in there, So I think that was the biggest difference. I was ready to roll because I was told I was ready. I was going to be ready to roll. And then I worked with a lot of guys, and I know he worked with Grant and a lot of guys upstairs as well. So I think that was huge for him and just his preparation throughout the week. Going in like he was going to start the game is huge. And that was something that I inevitably had to do, and so that's what I did, and it helped me a ton. And so, like I said, we were all comfortable with him in the huddle, and he was spitting out the plays, and just understanding what was going on. And he's a baller, I think that's the biggest thing is he's a football player, and he was running around, scrambling, making plays, and that was what we needed on Sunday.
TJ, what has stood out to you about Jefferson and the way that he's just been around the last month, even though he hasn't been kind of presence on the sideline? And
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, I don't have enough good things to say about JJ. I mean, I say he's one of the best people, I've been around, and just to have him in the locker room throughout these last 4 weeks has been incredible. I mean, he hasn't changed as a person or a player or anything. He's just been like this the whole time, and that's what you need from a guy like your captain, is come in and just. He's been excited for us as players, and you see him on the sideline when we make plays. He's going crazy, and he's here on a Wednesday, and he's out at walkthrough. He's in meetings. He's just hanging out, and he's there for all of us. And I think that's just huge as a guy. I mean, he's at the peak of his career, one of the best players in the league, and he doesn't need to be here if he doesn't want to be, But that just shows the character that he is and that he has. He's been here every step of the way, and he's going to continue to be. And that just, I mean, he's just such a great dude as well as a great player. So.
TJKO was talking the other day after your long run up the sideline. Dalton was the first guy there to pick you up. Is that stuff you guys notice in real time? Does it show up on film? And I guess what has he meant to this locker room since he's got here?
It's been awesome to have Dalton. I mean, he's a good personality to have in the locker room. I mean, he's always upbeat, always smiling. You'll see him in here joking with guys, and it's been awesome since he's gotten here and he's gotten playing. And I mean, you notice it when you're out there. I mean, he's the first guy picking you up, always from the bottom of the pile. He's always around the ball, and I mean, those are big things. It's just that's just leadership, as in showing what to do. I mean. And I think that's helped a lot of the O-line and a lot of us tight ends and go through and just finishing through the ball, finishing at the ball, and understanding that picking our guys up is more important than just letting other defenders just hang around us, and being the only one up there. So it's been awesome to have him in this locker room.
He was obviously offensive-minded, former quarterbacks that helped with Josh, but what does he maybe do even more so that helps communicate things to you guys, like when you learn things quickly? Like, what is it about him as a coach that kind of allowed last weekend to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I know he was in Josh's ear a lot, and that's why we were going hurry-ups for him to be able to stay on the mic and be able to talk him through some stuff. And, I mean, it's just been awesome to have KO as a head coach. Because, you a lot of the time install these plays and you do things and you're not really sure about the why behind it. And I think that's something that KO does a really good job in these meetings and showing us, hey, this is why we're doing these things, and this is why, we've done these things, and this is what the defense shows, and this is what, we need to show. And so I think those, a lot of the time you learn plays and you just memorize them rather than understanding the why behind it and understanding everyone's job behind everything. So I think that's been something that I've been able to learn a lot about football just from KO, and learn a lot about offense from KO, is just because of the why behind it and understanding everyone's job.
When you've thrown with Joshua in Nashville, has he brought the rugby ball? Or
I haven't seen the rugby ball, but I love it. I love seeing it. Yeah, he's got it in his locker just sitting over there. So I had never seen it, but I mean, I knew he threw a great ball when we were down in Nashville. I mean, it was just. It's one of those things, there's not a ton of quarterbacks down there, so whenever we could throw with Josh, we were all hyped and excited. It was one of those days we weren't going to miss because, he's got a great ball and he's a good quarterback and he's a great dude, so that was something that we were always at. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.